Thank you. Going back to tonight's speech, obviously you said that the president's going to be calling out these lawmakers that are MAGA lawmakers in Congress, but you had 74 million people vote for Trump last time around. You said it's a small number that the White House believes are extremists. Can you give us an idea of ballpark? Are we talking a million of that 74 million? Are we talking about 1%, 20%? What kind of number are we talking
Well,
about?
I'm talking about specifically of MAGA office holders. That's what we're talking about. They're the
Not
ones.
supporters.
I'm talking specifically. I already answered this question about how we feel like we've touched a nerve, right? When folks are saying that we're trying to be divisive or that we're talking about millions of voters. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about MAGA office holders who have put forth an agenda that is extreme, who have put forth an agenda that takes away people's rights, who have put forth an agenda that want to give tax cut to billionaires and corporations while raising taxes on million Americans. I just had a back and forth about how they want to do a national ban. They've called for a national ban on abortion. Those are extreme. That's an extreme agenda that is not in line where majority of Americans are. I know you're asking me about 10 millions of voters out there, but we're talking about, if you look at the items that I just listed, majority of Americans don't support what the MAGA Republicans in Congress are doing. That's a fact. That's what polling shows us. When you're talking about an agenda from Republicans in the Senate who are talking about getting rid of Medicare, putting that on the chopping block, putting Social Security on the chopping block, that's not popular. That's not something that majority of Americans want.
So if it's MAGA office holders, we've seen Democratic groups, I'm thinking of like the Democratic Governors Association, boost Trump candidates like Maryland. You think of Dan Cox, who just got the nomination. Is that then hypocritical if you're saying we've got to make sure these MAGA supporters are not in office, but you've got Democratic groups that are boosting their campaigns in the primaries?
I mean, I can't talk about campaigns and what another candidate is doing or a committee is doing. I can't speak from that from here. Look, I can say this: the president has always been clear. There are going to be people who disagree with his programs and legislative priorities, and that's what democracy is all about. Like, we understand that, right? But people accept elections and we move forward as a nation, right? But there is a growing number of people who refuse to accept the results of free and fair elections, people who actually openly talking about subverting elections in the future. This is not a speech where he's going to tell people to vote for one party or the other. That's not what he's going to do. He's going to, I'm talking about tonight. He's going to talk about uniting the people of this country who believe in equality and democracy. And this is about bringing people together who believe in America. That's what the speech is going to be about, and that's what he's going to focus on.
And obviously, there's been a lot of focus on previous speeches, previous comments, one in Maryland the other day. Is it only on the far right that deserves to be called out, or are there elements of the far left that also deserve to be either scrutinized or lectured?
Look, I just laid out there's going to be some people who agree with him and who disagree with him. Whether it's legislative initiatives or programs, that's going to happen. But what we're going to hear from him is how to move the country forward. That's going to be the focus of the speech tonight. It's going to be optimistic, it's going to be hopeful, but it's also going to lay out what's going on currently in this moment. That's what you can expect from him tonight, and we're going to try and see how we can move this country forward.
Last one for me is, he's going back to Pennsylvania tonight. He's going on Monday for Labor Day. He's doing Wisconsin. Everybody here's been asking about Mississippi. No plans to go see what's going on the ground?
I just said the FEMA administrator.
What about the president?
I just said the FEMA administrator is going there tomorrow. That's going to be important. She is the administrator of FEMA, one of the most important agencies as we're dealing with this catastrophe that we see in Jackson. That is not unusual. That is not new for her to be the first one on the ground to make sure to get a sense of what's happening and what is going on. We have the EPA who's also involved, the EPA agency who's also involved as well. The president's going to continue to have conversations with local governments, the local elected officials in the state, and our team is going to continue to do that. I just don't have anything else to preview, but it is not unusual right, to have the
But
FEMA
she goes
court.
first and then the president.
I'm not saying that. I just said I don't have anything to prove you, but it's not unusual for her to go down there, as you've seen with other, where we have other catastrophes, sadly, across the country, and FEMA takes action, and then it take the lead.